black man have no heart to love himself or to love his own peoples or to love his race. So the problem of black man hating himself is what brings me here, to emphasize to my peoples out there to understand that loving yourself, there is nothing more than loving yourself. Loving yourself as a black man and loving your race. This is what really brings me here. I want to explain a little bit about this, to tell my peoples how to love themselves, because we are too much busy loving Arabs and white peoples, but we are never busy loving ourselves. We love other peoples. The moment we care about other peoples, we love other race, we refuse to love ourselves. We don't have any place in our heart to love ourselves. This is the biggest problem, because a black man is ready to fight his fellow black man to any length. A black man is ready to make sure that none of his neighbors prosper. A black man is trying to make sure that none of his neighbors' Pekins will prosper. But a black man is never trying to make sure that white people never prosper. A black man is never trying to make sure that Arab people never prosper. But we are always busy to make sure that to make sure that, my friend is there and is prospering, I must destroy his prosper. That's what black man did, That's how they create the mentality of a black man, to busy loving them and hate himself. And this is how black man mentality was created and given to them as a system. They give to us. So we busy loving Arabs. A black man feel like when they don't love Arab or white peoples, they are committing a sin. But a black man didn't see that by him hating himself and his own race, he don't feel it like it's a sin. But a black man feel like without me loving all white peoples or loving all Arabs, I am hating myself. This is what I've been saying. And I will still repeat it again and again and again and again to make sure that people understand, a black man, you need to love yourself because nobody loves you. You are busy loving Arabs. Arabs never love you from day one. Yes, from the beginning, from Bilali time. They have never loved. From Bilali time, most of the Muslims know who I am talking about. Bilali was a black man living among Arabs. From Bilali time, Arabs have never loved black peoples. White peoples have never loved you. Gambians, from Kunta Kinte time, they never loved you. So Africans must understand this, that nobody is busy loving you, while Africans are busy loving everyone. You can't love everyone, my brothers and sisters. Hate them because they hate you. Love your race because they love their race. Copy them. If you want to copy them how they hate you. You can see Africans are copying white people's system, but they are never copying how white people hate them. They will never copy that. That is the biggest problem I have with Africa, because Africans are ready to copy every system of white peoples. They want to dress like white peoples. They took their culture. They took everything about white people, but they are not taking racism from white peoples. Why are you not learning racism from them? Because they racist you. So learn racism from them. Be racist like them. They hate you. Hate them like they hate you. Arabs, the same thing. We copy everything from Arabs. We want to dress like Arabs. We want to speak like Arabs. We want to behave like them. But we don't want to hate them the way they hate us. Hate like Arabs. The same way they hate you. Hate them like the same way they hate you. There is no love, my brother. There is no sin for you hating an Arab or a white man. There is no sin. It's a good thing if you even hate Arabs or white peoples. Because you know why? When you hate them, you love yourself. The moment you start to put in your heart that from today I started hating white and Arabs, that's the day you will start loving yourself. Because when you started hating Arabs and white people, you will be the one to sit and ask yourself, now who am I going to love? You have a heart of love. Black men have a heart of love. So that heart of love will return back to you. You will start loving yourself. And the moment you start loving yourself and caring about yourself, you will love your fellow black peoples. Then you start to love your race and your culture, everything about you. Because the moment you look down on other people's things, the moment you start to see your own things as important things. The problem of Africa is we start to see other people's things as important things and we look down on our own things. Because that's how it will work. Because that's the mentality and the brain. That's how it works. The moment I start to love you so much, I will start to hate myself. Because every human being have these two parts in your body. The part that hate peoples, the part that love peoples. So if I use the part that love peoples to love you so much, I will use the part. It remain only the part to hate peoples. So now if I am using the part in my body to love peoples, I love everyone. What about myself? Then I'm going to hate myself. Because the system part in your body that should hate people will not be there remaining like that without hating nobody. There is nobody living in this world who will raise his hand and say, there is nobody who I hate. Yes, if you don't hate people, you will hate yourself. Hate your enemies and love yourself. The moment you sit and started hating your enemies, you will start loving yourself. But how white people hate us, we couldn't hate them the same way. We keep on loving them. We keep on forgiving. We are very, very, when you even think about how they even treat Africans, and we are still loving them, we still forgive them. Yes, white people show you that you are nobody to them. They hate you. They don't hide it that they hate you, black peoples. Arab peoples, they show to you that they hate you, black peoples. They don't hide it, because whatever was happening to our brothers in Morocco, in Tunis, in Libya, in Algeria, I think it is a sign to show you that in Saudi Arabia, those are signs to show you that Arab people show you totally that they hate you as a black man. They don't hide it. So you are the only one. We are the only peoples who are busy loving them. Even when they have problems, while we are having problems for a decade, we couldn't solve it. But immediately when Arabs have problems, we started shouting for them. Like what is happening in Palestine. Yesterday, the same thing I talked about. Like what is happening in Palestine today. Before Palestine war will happen, there was many African countries that are living in conflict. Who raised their flag? Nobody. We refuse to raise our own people's flag. Yes, because we hate ourselves. We love to see our fellow blacks suffering. We love to see them in conflict. We don't raise the flag of Congo. We don't raise the flag of Cameroon. We don't raise the flag of Sierra Leone. We don't raise the flag of Nigeria. We didn't raise any flag of any black African country. But immediately the war happened in Palestine, everybody started raising. Black people started loving because we love them so much. And we will hate ourselves so much. The more we love them, the more we hate ourselves. So this is why I came here today for 30 minutes to give my peoples this lesson. The moment you love someone so much, like a race, the moment you love the white race so much, as a black man, the more you love the white race so much, the more you hate black race yourself. You will not know. You think like you are wise, right? What you are doing, you are wise. Yes, by loving them, by caring about them, by feeling for them, by loving them so much, you think you are wise as a black man, but you are hating yourself. You are not hating no one. Yourself. Because you can see it by yourself. You don't even value yourself. There is nothing that came out from you as a black man or from your fellow black people that you appreciate. That's number one lesson to show you that you are hating yourself so much. The more you are hating these people, the more you are loving these people, the more you are hating yourself. Because there is nothing that is created by your own fellow blacks you will love. There is nothing that will be created by your fellow blacks you will appreciate. You cannot appreciate. You only appreciate things from peoples who you love. So Arabs and white peoples are the peoples who black Africans are busy loving. This is why we love things that are created by them. Even the food that was made by them, we love it more than the food that was created by us. It's a lesson that I decided to give to my black peoples today, to learn from this and educate from this, and started loving themselves. Because that's the time we could see ourselves and we could know ourselves. Without being loving ourselves, we can't do nothing for ourselves. We will South Africa unite, Africa unite. You cannot unite peoples who don't love themselves. How can me and you come together and unite when I don't love myself? You expect I will love you as my fellow black? When I don't even appreciate myself, you think I will appreciate you as my fellow black? So the unity cannot, because there is a hatred among black Africans. The mentality is setting to hate ourselves. Trust me. So there's a problem, a big problem of hatred on ourselves. And to change this is very easy for you to love yourself and start loving your fellow black Africans. Ask yourself and sit in your house. How do you love white people? How much do you love white people? And how much do you love Arabs? Sit in your house alone, without nobody. Sit and think, how much do I love white peoples? How much do I love Arabs? Do they love me? What are they doing to me that should show me that they don't love me? Count them one by one, started calculating them. What do they do to my black race that will show me that these people don't love me, that will make me also to hate them? Start thinking about what they did to you. Yeah, someone is sleeping, that's why I just have to do just 30-minute live, for a lesson of black man loving himself. Someone is sleeping around beside me, She's just wasn't my life. I'm sleeping like yesterday. She fall asleep. Huh? I'm sleeping and laughing. So I think people need to really understand one thing. A black man, sit and think and start loving yourself. It bothers me so much when I always think like this, that black peoples are... That's how I was before. I love white people so much more than myself. I love Arabs so much more than myself. That's how I was before. Before I would realize to change my mentality, begin to love myself. And when I started loving myself, I sit and ask myself one day, because I appreciate everything from white peoples. Everything. Even when white man is wrong, I still appreciate them. That's how they create our mentality. I was loving them so much more than myself. I was believing in them so much more than myself. I start to think. And I was seeing in reality what these people are doing to my fellow blacks. Even if they have never done to me, but they have did a lot to my fellow blacks. So I start to ask myself, if they can did this to my fellow blacks and I'm here busy loving them, one day they could do it to me. So why will I be loving peoples who hate my race? Why will I appreciate everything from these peoples if they really hate my race? So if they hate my race means they hate me. Because if you hate black race means you hate PANDI MAICA, because I'm a black man. So I start to ask myself, can I learn from them also how they hate me? That's why when white people told me that you are racist, I told them you people are the peoples who teach me how to become racist. Because before I was in Africa, I didn't know what is racism, I didn't even know I never had the word called racism. But when immediately I came to Europe, I start to hear the word of racism. I know what is the meaning of racism. I know what racism stands for. I know a person who is racist. And exactly how I also learn from them how to be racist and how to love my own race. I begin to love myself, love my fellow blacks as I love myself. Then that's how the hatred of white peoples and Arabs come into my heart. Yes, because I begin to see my fellow blacks, every black man that I see them as is me. I see every black man as me. I see myself in every black man. That's the time I begin to love every African country. Every black African country. And immediately I started to realize that there are people who are my enemies who I need to hate. Yes, the people who I was busy before loving and appreciating everything that they created. I don't even appreciate things that are created by my fellow black. Why? Because I was not loving myself. But without me loving myself, I can't love my fellow blacks. You have to love yourself first. Even before you will love PANDI MAICA, love yourself first. If you don't love yourself, how can you love me? When you as a black man or as a black woman, you don't love yourself, how can you love me if you don't love yourself? Love yourself first before you will love me. Believe in yourself before you will believe in me. No matter how you believe in PANDI MAICA, believe in yourself first. That's the most important thing. So that's to show you as an example between the race also. Between me and you as an individual peoples, as an individual persons. You need to love yourself first before you will love me. You need to care about yourself first before you will care about me. You need to You need to believe in yourself before believing in me. So that walk between races also, between black race and white race and Arab race, this is what walk between. This is what walk. Before you will love Arab race, think about this. Love yourself. Why are you appreciating everything that was created by Arab race or white race, but you don't appreciate things that are created by your fellow black race? What is making you to think like that? That what your fellow blacks created are nothing, are rubbish. You love yourself, believe in yourself. We are the only peoples busy forgiving them, and we are the only people thinking about God. These people don't think about God. Don't they know God? Who tell you that they don't know God? You think like when you hate white people, you are committing a sin. You are not committing any sin. If you are committing a sin by hating white peoples or Arab peoples, but these are same peoples who hate you, they didn't think like they are committing a sin. So why you as a black man thinking like, because that's how they created the mentality of a black man. Whatever a black man can do to a white man in a wrong way, whatever wrong that black man can do to a white man or an Arab, and it will suffocate them or it will hurt them, they make it look like to us like a sin. A black man is afraid to kill a white man. A black man is afraid to fight a white man because they believe that is a big crime. A black man is afraid to hate a white man because we believe that is a crime. But we are never afraid to hate ourselves, to fight ourselves, to kill ourselves. That's what it is. And that's how it is running in Africa. And this is what we need to change. The mentality that gives us this thinking, we need to change it so fast to begin to love ourselves. Because that's where the liberation and the freedom of Africa will start, by loving ourselves. Because we can't say let's unite when we don't even love ourselves. There are many people shouting Africa should unite, Africa should, but they don't even appreciate themselves. Go and look. Whatever they appreciate things that are created from white people than the things that are created by their fellow Africans. So you are shouting, Africa should unite. But sit and think about yourself. Who do you, between black and white, who do you love much? You love white most. And you say Africa should unite. How will we be unite when you don't even love yourself? And you expect you could love your fellow. Yeah, it will start. We need to start thinking. Hate your enemies. They are your enemies. This is not easy to say in public, but it's something that must be said, that these people are our enemies. The moment after black Africans realize that white race and Arab race are their enemies, and they need to start hating them now. You need to start hating them because they have been hating you for a very long time. It's only you black people who are busy loving them. It's only we who are busy loving them, caring about them. We never love ourselves. Yes, we are busy forgiving. We say, sometimes when I even it happened to me sometimes when I'm talking about the history, what they did to our forefathers, you will see somebody will come and comment and say, brother, we need to think about God. Let's leave it for God. Yes, black man is too easy to forgive white man. We are too easy to forgive white man. We are too easy to forgive Arab man, but we are never forgiving ourselves. If your brother, your fellow black brother did something to you, you never forgive him. Never. Because you see your fellow as your enemy. That's how they create your mentality. That's how they prepare the system on your mentality to hate yourself and never to forgive yourself. We have never forgive ourselves. We never forgive our fellow blacks. But we always forgive. We are too easy to forgive white man. When white man did something, when they came, things that happen, we need to forget it. We will forget it very easy because it's a white man. When Arab man came, the same thing, we will forgive and forget so easily because we believe that, these people, they should be forgive. But when your fellow black did it to you, you said, no, I will never forgive. Nobody. Who forgive? Nobody want to forgive. Nobody. Let's start loving ourselves, black man. Nobody love us. No race love you. Arab race don't love you. This is the fact that nobody will be able to tell you. That's what I say. Things that people are afraid to say in public to all the black peoples, in front of all black peoples. That's what I am ready to say in front of the whole world. That no race, white race don't love black Africans. Black peoples, white race don't love you. They are your enemies. They are never your friend and they can never be your friends. The moment you start to hate them, the moment you will start loving yourself. You can't love yourself if you don't stop loving that race that you are loving more than yourself. So start hating them, starting from now. If you are watching me as a black man sitting in your house, I beg you in the name of God, sit and think. Think by yourself and calculate. Who do you love between white race and black race? You love white race so much. Why? What did they do to you that make you love them so much? What did they do to you? And what did they do to you? If I tell you hate white race and Arab race, go and sit and think by yourself. That's for my own thinking, right? Go and sit and think. Why do PANDI MAICA tell me to hate white race and Arab race? What did they do to black race? Calculate it by yourself. Then you will realize that I am telling you to do something that will benefit you, me, and the whole black race. Yes, I am not telling you to do it because I feel like white, they don't love me. No, it's not a personal thing, but it's a race matter. It's about the race matter. It's about the development and the freedom matter. It's not about personal issues. By me personally, white people don't do nothing to me personally. Yes, they may threaten me. They may be a problem to when I started fighting for Africa. They become problem to my personal life. Okay, that's right. But before I will start this whole thing, they have never become any problem to my personal life. But it's about the race. It's about the race. It's about the race. I think that's what we need to look at. Don't see it like, yeah, I'm working with white people and they love me so much. Don't see it like, yeah, no, I have many white friends, so I will not hate white people. No. I have white friends. I have white woman as my second wife. But that doesn't make me to love the race. The fact is the fact. They are our enemies, they are our enemies. Yes, that must be taught. That fact must be taught. It can't be hidden. It doesn't mean if I marry a white, then I will sit and say, I can sit and say, oh no, white people, they don't hate us. We should not hate them because I marry white. But that doesn't stop me telling you to hate them. And I hate them. I see them as my enemy. Because the moment I start to love them again, I start to see them as good people, I will start to hate myself and hate my race. And this is what is happening to every black man mentality. Yes! Why are we loving them so much? Because we love them so much and we hate ourselves. We hate ourselves totally. We don't love ourselves. Just look at it by yourself as a black man. Sit and think and calculate it by yourself. You know what I am saying. Everybody know what I am saying. Black peoples. We know it very fact. It's the fact that we care about them so much more than ourselves. Why? Because as I tell you, every human being, there's no human being that doesn't have enemy. Yes, when you love everybody in the world, you will hate yourself. Remember that. Because there is a part in your body that must be functioning. Every part in your body must be functioning. None of them can stop working till you die. If you die, they will stop working. So you have a hatred part in your body. You have a lovely part in your body that love peoples. So when you use the lovely part to love everyone, the hatred part, you don't have anybody outside to hate. You will start hating yourself. And this is how they program black man. Because these people study human being. They know that when black people love every race, their race black man don't see any race to hate, black man will start to hate his own race. That is the black race. So they make sure that black people love the white race. The moment black people started to love the white race, they love all the white race. They love the Arab white race. They love the Western white race. Now, we have the hatred part in our body. We must hate somebody, but we love all the race. So which race is remaining now for us to hate? Because our hatred part in our body must function. We must hate somebody. Every human being must hate someone. So now we love all the race. There's only one race remaining, that is your own race. And you use your lovely part in your body to love all the race. Now the hatred part in your body have to function. You use it to hate your own race. Yes. That's how it happened. And we need to change this by ourselves, by speaking to each other. It's not like we are perfect than every black man out there. It's not like we are intelligent and we are just reminding each other. To learn from each other, to make sure that we don't make mistakes. This freedom of Africa we are shouting of, it can't happen if we don't tell each other the things that we need to do, how we need to think, how we need to love ourselves, how we need to care about ourselves, how we need to expensive ourselves. We are too cheap and we are too easy to be fooled. This is the fact. We are all black men, but this is the fact about a black man. A black man is too cheap. A black man is too easy to be fooled. A black man is not having an experience of loving himself. A black man doesn't know the sweetness of loving someone loving himself. And that's what a black peoples must start to learn, how to love themselves and care about themselves and expensive themselves. And start loving their own race. The moment you don't love yourself as a black man, you can never love black race. Before you will start trying to love Africa, try to love yourself first as a black man, as an individual person. Try to love yourself in a person. Care about yourself. Love whatever came out from you as a black man. And you will start loving your fellow black peoples, because you can never hate your fellow black peoples when you love yourself as a black man. Black people don't love themselves, that make them to hate their own race. Even our cultures, look what happened. The same mentality make us, when you love them so much, well, the moment they make us to love them, they give us a system called the education system. That is a program system, but it's not an education system. What they give to us in Africa, they call it educational system. We call it education, but that is not an education system. That was a program system that was programmed and given to Africans to make sure that after Africans learning this, they will never love themselves and they will never expensive themselves. They will see themselves as fools because they will never learn nothing about themselves. They will not know nothing about themselves. So to make Africans never to remember themselves or their forefathers or their history or their culture, we need to give them our own. They need to learn our own. So that's what they program and give to Africa. They call it educational system. I was in school for 12 years and I know how it means to waste 12 years of your life for no reason by learning about other peoples, and those are the peoples you are going to love. Africans are never learning about themselves. That's why we never love ourselves, because we are always, our teachers in schools are always telling us about other peoples. They are never telling us about ourselves. How are we going to know ourselves? And the peoples we know about, those are the peoples we love. And whatever we learn in school about Africa is the mistake of Africans we are learning. We only learn the mistake about ourselves. We only learn the bad thing about ourselves. That's why Africans are never becoming good to themselves, because they don't learn any good thing about themselves. We learn only bad things about ourselves. But whatever we learn in school about the Westerners or about the Arabs are all good things. That's why we think like, as a black man, when you sit in your house, you know that you are thinking like white man is good than black man. Because why? Because that's what you learn in school. You learn more good about about white man than yourself. You learn more good about Arabs than yourself. And this is why you think like these people are good than you, because you learn more bad about yourself than the white. You learn more bad about yourself than the Arabs. And you believe that these people are the good ones because you are the bad one, because you only learn bad things about yourself, about your forefathers, about your history. That's why you believe in them to the extent you can worship them. Yeah, you believe that these people are the perfect peoples because you only learn good things about them in schools, in your African schools. You don't learn what bad they did. Because that's how they program the system that they call education system. It's a program system. It's not an education system. It's a program system. It's not a system of education or learning a language, because not language we are learning. You are not educating. You know, the example to give you that the system in Africa that they call education system is a programming system that was given to program our mentality from the childhood, to grow with a mentality that we are nobody and these people are the perfect peoples. From the childhood, when we started going to schools, we started to see that we are nobody. We started to see ourselves like nobody. Go to African schools today where we have children of 7 years in schools. Ask them, are they better than white people? They will tell you, no, white people are better than us. Children of 7 years in Africa are growing with the mentality, are already having the mentality that they are nobody. Yes, it is a system of programming system that they brought to Africa. They call it education system. How will you know that it's not even an education or learning language? After learning English in Africa, you graduate. You couldn't even speak a proper English language. So are you telling me it's language that you learn for the whole 12 years till you graduate from English school? You couldn't still speak a proper English language. When you go to Canada, that's the time you realize that you were not learning language in Africa. And you were not educating in Africa. Yes, what you were learning in Africa is a program system to program your mentality. Without them coming to you, they don't need to go to you. They give you that system in Africa so that they don't need to go to you in Africa to start changing your mentality. They have to give you that program and leave you with that program. Because you will be learning, your children will be learning the same thing, so that they don't need to go there and change your mentality. You will learn and change your mentality by yourself. Yes, are they going there to change our mentality? Because they give us a program. And as far as black people are depending on those programs, our mentalities will always tell us to hate ourselves. Yes, they don't need to go. Because before they go there and pick us and tie us and use us as a slaves, and chain us, so they are tired of that. They said, no, we don't need to go to these people to them. We have to give them, make them to hate themselves and love us. We don't need to tell them to love us. Yes, we need to program them. So Africans are just like a computer that was programmed to keep on running automatically. Yes. Nobody need to touch the computer. The computer will be running automatically. So Africa is a computer that is running background automatically. That's how they program, due to the systems they give to us. You go to school in Africa, if you believe you are learning an English language by going to English school, then leave, graduate from Africa, go to university in Africa, finish the university in Africa, go to Canada, or you go to America, or you go to UK to study English again. That's the time you will realize that all the things you were learning in Africa is just a waste of time. It's just a program that was given to you. It's not an education, it's not a language. Yes. But it's not an education. If the time you will believe that it's not even an education. When we came to education, people call it, you have to be educated. You have to be educated. You have to go to school to be educated. People who are educated are creating things. You go to school, you learn, you take a course. Either you become a mechanic, or either you become a carpenter, or either you do IT, information technology, or either you do banking, e-commerce. You need to take a course. And that course, when you took it in school, After graduation, you should be able to create something for yourself through the education you learn, through what you learn in school. Because by doing that course, you are going to be doing practicals in school. And those practicals are how to create things that you learn from book. How are you going to create them? That's how they learn in Western world. But in Africa, in our own education, that's what they call education system. We go to school, we graduate, we couldn't even create nothing for ourselves still. Yes, there is no African school that they will say that this school is here to teach African children how to mine in gold or diamond or fuel or petrol or anything. Why? Because the important things about educations, they ban that from Africans. They suspend Africans from having anything that is called mining, or Africans doesn't even know nothing about their own resources. They don't know what to do with their resources. We have millions of Africans who graduate in a year, but nobody among them can be able to mine in a gold or diamond or silver. And we have a lot of resources in Africa. We have a lot of Africans who are graduating every year. White people, if you came to the Western world, they don't have resources. But each and every year, we have more than 1 million students who graduate from mining schools. They learn only mining. Why are they learning how to mine in gold or diamond if they don't have resources? Why are they learning about that? You need to think, my fellow Africans, why are they teaching their children how to mine in golds and diamonds and silvers while they don't have resources? They are preparing their children for Africa. We are there. We still leave our children in that slavery schools, in that programming system that they call education system. That we call educational system. We leave our children in those programming systems. Our children will be there. They don't know nothing about mining. They are here busy teaching their children. Every year, 1 million students graduate in Europe from mining schools. Students who go and learn only mining, gold, diamonds, silver, platinums, and other things, other resources. It is up to 1 million people every year that graduate in Europe here. So they are preparing how to mine in your resources. Our children are there. We are busy teaching them about the programming system that they give to us. So when our children grow up and their own children grow up, you see the balance? Their children will now go to our children, started to mining their goals the same way they did to us today. That same way they are preparing for today for 100 years. After 100 years, that's what they are preparing these children for. I think we need to understand, my fellow Africans. Sometimes when I see Africa, I feel like to cry. You know why? The children who are growing right now, the innocent African children, black African children, the innocent ones, we still leave them in that programming system. We still don't believe that the education system that they give to us is a programming system. They don't need to go to Africa now to make us to hate ourselves. They don't need it. Because they already give out the system that will make us to hate ourselves. And we still, what is making me angry about Africa is we really know about that education system is not an education system, it's a programming system to make us to hate ourselves. We still depend on this and we are not still taking it out. Yes. Why? Because we have a puppet as a leader who are pushing that programming system in the system more and more. We don't have any leader who could think of banning that system. When Mali did it, I was so happy. When Mali did it and banned French language from their country, I was so happy. Now look at Mali. Mali is changing their mentality. Look at Malians' mentality. I speak Bambarang. A lot of the times I listen to their parliament. I listen to even a lot of their schools. You know, I speak Bambara, so I understand whatever they are saying. Their mentality is changing. Malians, their mentalities are changing. Why? Because they drop a system that will turn them to hate themselves. Now they love themselves more than anybody. Go to Mali. The Malians now love themselves more than anybody. And they are now, you know what is the important thing about this Mali? Mali is now going back to the roots. When I said Mali is now going back to the root, means Mali now they create medicines by themselves. Mali don't order any medicine from anybody. Mali create medicines for themselves. Mali create herbs for themselves. Mali have their own pharmacy where every medicine there is created in Mali. Mali have their own language that is called Nko language that they are learning in school, and that's what their children are learning. That is their own language. That become their official language. And this is how all African countries should be. When you came to Europe, you find out that we have 27 countries in Europe. They have borders. But if you came to Europe, you will never realize that Europe have border. They have 27 countries using one currency under one constitution. All of them, 27 countries under one constitution, under one currency. They separate we the Africans and give us borders. Separate us totally and tell us each and every one of us must use your own currency. They make us to hate each other. We don't even want to collaborate. Now African countries don't even want to collaborate and use one currency. Because they know when we collaborate, we could make a currency that will be powerful than euro, pound, star, and dollar. They know. Do you think they don't know? They know when we collaborate, when Africans collaborate. This is what Mohammed Gaddafi was trying to do. This is what Mohammed Gaddafi was trying to do. When Mohammed Gaddafi says one currency, they feel afraid because they know when this all these black African countries join together to use one currency, it will be more powerful, double, 2 times powerful than euro, pound, star, and dollar. They said, no, it can't happen. They have to kill Mohammed Gaddafi. They assassinated Mohammed Gaddafi to make sure that Africa remain in having every country have their own currency. That's the way currencies will never be strong. Yes, remember, when you took one broom, you can break it easily. When you put 10 broom or 50 broom together, you can't break it easily. So this is why they never want to see Africa together. They make sure that we are separated like this. Everybody use your own currency. There are things that make their currencies to be more valuable in market. That thing is from Africa. It's a resources that is from Africa. The goals on their currencies are goals that are from Africa. So if peoples who don't have golds, diamond, silver, platinum, uranium, their currency is more powerful. What about people who have resources? If their currency can be powerful, what about Africa that have all resources, that have all it takes to make their currency better than and heavier and expensive than any other currency in this planet? But before that, how can we come together? That's where the weak Africa, they separate us, make us look each other as enemies. Yes. They make it look like Nigerians should look Ghanaians like their enemies. Ghanaians should look Gambians like their enemies. Gambians look Senegalese like their enemies. So nobody care about no country. We feel like we are not from the same peoples. We feel like we are different peoples. That's why they put those borders to give us those names: Nigeria, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Burkina, Niger, Malawi, Uganda, Kenya. They give us all these names. So when I'm from Gambia, I feel like, oh, I am not the same person with Kenyan peoples. Oh no, I am different from Nigerians. I am not a Nigerian. So that make you different. The moment you call yourself a Gambian, there's a difference. The The moment you call yourself a Nigerian, you put a difference between you and your fellow black race. That's why it's a pity. I hope my lesson, people will learn a little bit about my lessons. Yeah, even if you don't learn all, but I pray people learn a little bit about my lessons. And I will always be there for Africans. I always tell them things that nobody is telling them. And I hope also I will try my best for my peoples before my time will finish in this planet. Yeah. I always pray to God, give me the strength and power to do what I could do for my peoples before I will die. Yeah, with good heart and with good faith. And without expecting nothing from nobody. But I just want my people to be free. That's all I want. I want my people to love themselves more than any other person. Every other race love themselves more than any other race. It's only my peoples who love other races more than themselves. And that's what I don't want to see. God knows I don't hate my peoples. I love my peoples. And I want my people to begin to love themselves as other races love themselves. I want my people to begin to see themselves as other people see themselves. Africa is the only place that I could fight for and feel comfortable. Even if I die by fighting for you Africans, I will never regret it. I will never regret for what I have been doing for Africa. And I will still continue doing it till I die. Even if I die on the mission, I will never regret it. No matter what sufferation, what difficulties I face on this mission, I will never regret for standing for my peoples. It will always remain the best thing that I have ever done in my life by fighting for Africa. And I will always do it. Yeah, even in death, if my spirit can wake up and fight for Africa, I will wake up as a spirit to fight for my peoples. It's the only thing that I could do for my peoples. Africa will be free one day. And I hope black people will be united one day without seeing any differences among themselves. I hope black peoples will start to respect themselves more than any other race. I hope one day I will see a resource, even if I am not alive. I hope one day Africa will be liberated. I am not afraid to die by fighting for Africa, but I am afraid if I die, will that Africa will still be like this, or there will be changes in a good way. That's my biggest fear. Yeah. My biggest fear is that when I die, will Africa be liberated? Will Africa be free? I always said it, and I will never regret saying it, and I will never vow back. That if God who created all mankind, if God knows, if I, PANDI MAICA, die this night, tomorrow morning Africa will be free and liberated, then let me die. Let Africa be liberated and free. Yeah. I always tell that one to God. If God, you knows, if I, PANDI MAICA, die today, then tomorrow morning Africa will be free and liberated. Then I am ready to be a sacrifice for Africa, to die, and let that Africa be free forever. It's not about me, but about the generation coming, the future of our peoples, our children's. It's not about me, but it's about the future of Africa. It is too bad to see in every generation that come, live in darkness and live in slavery. It's too bad. It's too bad to know that the children I am born in now will also become a slave to the peoples who are using me now. It's too bad to see your own children And you already know that these children I am born in now are going to remain in slavery and in poverty and in hunger. It's too bad to know that. It's too bad. It's too bad to know that these children I am born in now will live in this sufferation, the same sufferation that I left. They will also live in that sufferation and die. It's too bad to know that. This is why we are fighting for that generation. The future of Africa. The children who are growing up right now. They need to be prepared. They need to be taught. They need to be protected. We don't need to fail. Our fathers fail, our forefathers fail, our great-grandfathers fail. We don't need to fail. Let this generation of 21st century be the last generation that white people will use as a slave, that Arab people will use as a slave, that white people will do every nonsense to all. Let this 21st generation be the last generation that white people will do rubbish and nonsense to and get away with it. Let this be the last generation. That's what we want. Or that's what we are fighting for. We want this 21st century generation to be the last generation that will be used as a slave. The future people, the future children will be prepared for the war. There will be a war. There is no doubt about that. We already know it, that there will be a war. Maybe some Africans will not know. But we know that there will be a war. It couldn't be, you couldn't free that Africa without making war. There must be a war between black race and white race. There must be a war, either we like it or not. Yes, it's not easy to say. It look like violent, right? But that's the fact. There will be a war. Either it made me alive or not. There will be a war. A very big war. Yes, somebody was writing the world need us. Of course, the world need Africa, but Africa don't need themselves. That's the biggest problem where we are having. We miss a point. We feel like the world need us. We don't need the world. But we need to stand up and start needing ourselves. When we need ourselves, no matter how people need us, we are going to deal with them. That's the time we are going to know that by the whole world in need of Africans is a benefit. But right now, what benefit does it give to us if the whole world needs us? Because they go to our continent and take what they want and do what they like. They cause war, they steal our resources. We couldn't do nothing. We can't do nothing. We can't say nothing. So we fail. We fail. Thank you guys for being with me. I just took a 30 minutes of lesson, just to give to my peoples out there, So thank you guys for being with me here and wasting your precious times to be with me and listening to me. Thank you guys so much. May God bless you all. May God give us all long life. May God save us. As a black man, anywhere you are, may God save you from your enemies. Whatever our enemies plan against us shall never prosper. May God give us good health, long life, and prosperity. Whatever you put your hands in as a black man, anywhere you are, prosperity shall answer to you. Prosperity shall be your second name. We shall prosper. In the liberation, we shall prosper. In the freedom of Africa, we shall prosper. As a black man, anywhere you are, whatever you put your hand in, prosperity shall be the answer. May God bless you all, guys. God bless you, guys.